Hello there ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pathfinder Plays and to my new series on Scum Skills. Essentially what I want to do is talk about what these skills are and what they do, being as the game doesn't tell you during character creation. You will know this information is good because it is coming directly from Tomislav himself. Also remember to hit that like button and share this with your friends who play Scum so they can better create their characters. Let's get into it. Scum is a fantastic survival game that gives players tons of areas to explore, tons of weapons, and lots of character creation options with more to come. But one thing that needs to be fixed with the character creation menu is that it doesn't tell you what the skills actually do when you select them. This video and the coming videos in this series will seek to mitigate that. This video will be going over the intelligence skills and what they do. Do remember that right now, there isn't a way to improve your intelligence in-game. The other skills you can, but intelligence not quite yet. So these skills you must choose wisely more than the others during character creation. There will come a time when you can increase your intelligence by finding various skill books which will implement a system of memory retention and active learning similar to how Project Zomboid works, but until then, this is as good as it's going to get. A quick note from Tomislav before we begin. In the future they are planning to change how skills work, so instead of limiting the player's abilities to crafting items or performing actions based on skill level, the plan is to make all of these possible but with debuffs. For example, if a player with low skills wants to craft a complex item, they can surely do it. It will just take longer, take more resources, and maybe even have less durability than a player who has an advanced skill level. This will make skills more fluid, give players more freedom, and allow better progression. Let me know what you guys think of this future change in the comments below. Until those changes happen, we are stuck with the current system, which is why these videos will be so valuable. Also note that some of these skills I'll be mentioning are not yet in the game but are coming very soon, such as animal handling, so let's go ahead and get into it. Firstly, the medical skill. This is the skill used to perform first aid, medical repairs, and major surgery. Depending on the skill level, the character has knowledge how to sterilize wounds and bandage them, treat and stop infections from animal and insect bites, or treat burns. More advanced characters can perform basic medical repairs such as mend broken bones, stitch wounds, etc. Secondly, tactics. This skill gives you the edge during certain actions, helps your player to use map in tactical situations by adding the waypoints that are visible by the rest of the team, but also control how and when you can see other players' names or give out orders and pass tasks to other players. Tactics skill will be further defined in the future. Thirdly, awareness. This is the equivalent of being a trained observer, allowing characters to notice or be aware of clues, items, camouflaged enemies, and other events. Higher skill means wider range of awareness. This skill might negate effects from stealth or camouflage skills as well. Optional things for the awareness could be detection of other players' gear or detection of threat. These elements have to be carefully added if possible to avoid losing players' immersion in the game. Fourthly, Biochem. General knowledge of animals, plants, and other biological systems. This includes manufacturing drugs and concoctions from herbs and other natural ingredients. This also is the required skill for mixing chemicals and creating various compounds. Chemistry includes the skill of designing and manufacturing drugs and medicines. The character can recognize medicinal herbs and can create herbal preparations / antibiotics to help heal the wounds and stop infections of food poisoning. The character has basic knowledge on chemistry and can produce alcohol, soap, sterilize water, etc. So just a note here from myself, it's sounding like biochemistry and medical skill would go very great hand in hand. So maybe in the future when more things get implemented, this will be amazing. The character has knowledge to create poisons that can incapacitate people and animals for limited amounts of time, but also can create hallucinogenic drugs, batteries, fertilizers, etc. The character has the ability to create powerful explosives and powerful and lethal toxic chemicals like arsenic, gas bombs, napalm, and more. Very skillful biochemists will be able to produce drugs like cocaine that boost senses and reaction, but cause addiction. This one, though it seems like it will put more work in to actually be skillful at this, if you come across a Biochem master in this game, it would completely change the way you go about surviving. They can do everything. They can heal you, they can create poisons which can paralyze creatures, which will make it easier to hunt and gather food and kill other prisoners. They can sterilize water, make soap, which we know that scent is going to be a thing in the game in the near future. So knowing that scent is going to be a thing and they can create soap and alcohol and sterilize water, I mean, all of these things, they can even go and be a great DJ by handing out hallucinogenic drugs, for goodness sakes, at the bar in the city. So really amazing stuff. Oh, and also, on top of all that, congratulations, your medical person right here, your biochemist, he can also create bombs like TNT and nitroglycerin, so they are going to be very, very useful whenever it comes to base rating. Moving on to the fifth one, programming and electronics. The required skill to write programs, reprogram computer systems and maintenance, repairing and modifying electronic instruments such as computers, personal electronics hardware, electronic security systems, cameras, and monitors. That is right, cameras, monitors, more electronic hardware, and more electronic security systems are going to be making their way into the game, and this character right here with the skills in programming and electronics is going to be the person to go to make it happen. The character has computer knowledge. He understands how devices work and is comfortable to use any electronic device and any operating system. The character has the knowledge to administer computer networks and can assemble devices from different parts. The character has even mastered programming and electronics. They can hack into systems and take over control of it. They have the ability to open any electronic security locks, make computer viruses even. Furthermore, he can improvise and create electronic devices from simple, everyday elements. Advanced programming and electronics users provide players with the ability to reprogram the BCU unit itself or even turn it off. So this character right here is going to be a force to be reckoned with if they have the know-how of how to properly manage and use this character. They can control base defenses, battlefield even, the BCU unit. Everything is going to be in this person's control if they know how to master it properly. Number 6, survival and tracking. The required skill for knowing how to survive in the wilds. Knowledge includes how to set up traps, forage for wood, build shelters, make fires, etc. This character can track animals in the wilderness. They have the ability to recognize paths that animals follow and get information about the animal itself and general direction of movement. The character knows how to get and preserve water. More skillful characters can track people in all areas. That's right, they can track people in any environment. He has the ability to recognize general direction of movement and number of people who went in that direction. This character can sense how much activity has been at a specific location after the fact. So this character right here could have the potential to be super OP if not balanced correctly. Being able to track humans in this game, though I think it's common sense because the same people can track animals, of course you would expect them to be able to track humans as well. Just the idea that you can track other players as easily as animals, it could be kind of scary for some people. These people can recognize how many people are in your group, what direction you win. Who knows, maybe they can even tell you what gear you have, being as they're able to see how much activity has been at a specific location, whatever the heck that even means. So what does activity mean, right? Does it mean a battle? Does it mean setting up camp? I don't know. We're going to have to find out though. I'm really excited. Let's keep going. 7. Engineering and construction. The required skill for building or repairing all mechanical devices, weapons, cars, trucks, generators, repair crash damage, etc. The character has knowledge of how things work and is good at maintaining them to stay operational. The character can build things like fences, shelters, but also more complicated stuff with proper tools. This character can produce any type of improvised ammunition as well, and if he or she doesn't have a particular tool that they need, they can improvise and quickly fix the problem. As the expert mechanic, he can combine parts from several mechanical devices and create one operational device. A future possibility for a high-skill engineer would be to build an improvised vehicle or a car. So we are already more kind of aware of this particular skill than maybe the other ones. Everybody uses engineering, everybody builds things. It's not that difficult in this game. So the idea that they are going to add more to this, add more versatility, and the idea that they could even add the possibility to create an improvised vehicle at a high engineering level, That would be game-changing because you would no longer need to be beholden to a server's vehicle settings. You could simply just craft your own. It would obviously be expensive, no doubt, but the idea that it's possible, that is awesome. Going on to something that I'm very fond of because I'm a fat boy. Cooking, number 8. These characters are experienced in the preparations of foodstuffs in an enjoyable and appealing manner. Food prepared by a cook can last longer and is more nutritious. Cooks cover all sorts of food preparations, including cooking in the wilderness, making food rations, etc. The character has cooking skills. He can prepare ordinary food dishes in a regular kitchen or outdoors. For food preparations, he needs pots, knives, and other kitchen stuff. For food prepared is far more nutritious than other sources of food such as canned food, fruits, and other types. The cook can even create different kinds of food that have different buffs for the characters, such as boosting morale and even giving increased experience points to the team. Depending on the skill level, the cook can even create a more or less complicated meal with different types of ingredients. Well-prepared food can increase healing rates. So even with something as seemingly menial as cooking in this game, even cooking has some pretty great benefits to it. Having a team go out that is buffed up on some stinking ramen noodle whenever the other team is scrounging around in the forest for some boar meat, you, my sir, are going to have the upper hand because you guys have some nice buffs that go along with that Chef Boyardee. Number 9, sniping. The sniper skill is the superior aiming ability by having the ability to determine range just for windage and direction and read target movements and activities to properly pick the shot. This skill is cumulative with the rifle skill. 10thly, camouflage. This is a skill of self-disguise. Depending on the skill value, players can make themselves invisible to other players. Camouflage works best if the player does not move and lays down on the ground. And finally, the one that you guys have probably been waiting for, animal handling. The individual with this skill is experienced in dealing with and controlling animals. He or she can direct and train animals in guard or hunting duties and can control and ride beasts of burden and riding animals such as horses. The character has knowledge how to raise/tame animals. Depending on the skill level, more animals can be controlled. That's actually insane. You could have a pack of flipping wolves by your side. Better skill allows players to approach wild animals and give tasks to tamed ones. Players can also use animals to carry burden or your load. At all times, players will need to take care of animals or they will lose them, and I would assume they would either die or they would run away for a better master. That one is actually insane how it's going to change the way the game is played, because it will increase, I think, the survivability of a solo player, especially if they have a bear or a stinking pack of wolves by them as well. You better make sure, if you're going after this guy, you better get your shot on his face so his animals scatter and don't know what to do. Because if you don't, this guy's going to maul you to death with his furry friends. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the video. I certainly hope you learned something, and I'm almost positive that you did, because like I said before, this information about what the skills are and what they do is not in the game. So if you guys want a great Scum server to play on, go ahead and check out the Discord below. That's Path.House Condemned is my server. It's awesome. It's growing by the day, and we are all about PvP, PvE, and we've got some RP going on there because people have opened up their own stores with their own hours and scum bill prices in certain areas. So really great stuff is happening there. And if you want to be a part of it, join my Discord. That link is in the description below. Thank you to my channel members. I appreciate your support. All your money goes back to the channel and upgrading my rig, making better videos, better software, etc. And as always, guys, if you like scares, survival, and scavenging, consider hitting that subscribe button, that like button, share this video with your scummy friends, and I will see you all in the next one. Path out.